in Erev Rosh Hashanah, this service, this moment that we're in, as a sort of warm-up before an intense workout. So no one would show up to the City of Oaks Marathon without a preliminary dynamic stretch. And of course, if you want to enjoy the run, you have to prepare your body and your mind for what is to come. So for everyone here and those on live stream, as one of your rabbi coaches, I say to you, Kol HaKavod, way to go, you showed up. And not only did you show up, together we are creating the space to really dial into our souls and explore what do we need to feel ready as we prepare for the 2 days of spiritual work ahead. And if you're not sure yet, you're not alone. I think there's something really valuable just being here with your people. All of us are masterpieces and works in progress at the same time, yearning to grow and heal in the days ahead, committed to not just counting our days, but making them count. So this past year, my beloved sister-in-law, Lisa, who lives in South Florida, noticed 12 eggs in a small nest that took up residence in an empty ceramic pot alongside the front door of her house. And for 25 days, she peeked into the nest and marveled at the Muscovy duck's handiwork. Those are the ducks. They're arguably not the prettiest of ducks, but you know what I'm talking about. And she would wonder, when would it happen? But she figured whoever made this nest, it was likely that they were going to be their guests for a while. What she didn't expect was the speed with which the whole process unfolded. The ducklings started to hatch at night just before she went to bed, and in the morning, all 12 were hatched. Around 9 a.m., she went to check in on the ducklings, and they were all in the pot. By 10:15, they were waddling down the street, never to be seen again. Wow, she thought, they grow up so fast. Even as I make light of the passage of time with the sweet story of the ducklings on my sister-in-law's porch, as we sit here on Erev Rosh Hashanah, we are acutely aware of the speed with which time passes us by. For some of us, that's what it feels like or felt like raising children, or growing a business, or moving through a specific phase of life. Okay, maybe not the whole time, but as we reflect back, there's this sense that it all happened so fast. Maybe this past year felt like that. Like, how did we get here? Blink of an eye. The Zohar, which is the great foundational text of Jewish mysticism, weighs in on our relationship to time in its explanation of the following verse from Genesis about our forefather Avraham, who will take center stage in our Rosh Hashanah Torah readings in the next 2 days. And this line from Genesis reads, Ve'avraham zaken ba bayamim. And Avraham was old, coming with his days. So the plain meaning of the text is that Avraham was advanced in years. Essentially, he was an AK, as Rabbi Eric likes to say, an Altakaker. But if you translate the words of this verse literally, it reads, Avraham came with his days, ba bayamim. So what does that mean? The Zohar playfully asserts that Avraham traveled with his days as if they were collectibles. He carried his days along with him. Faced with time's eagerness, he held on to his days, stowing them away and traveling on with them. After all, there is no more precious treasure than time. We are aware that time refuses to stand still for any of us. I'm thinking back on moments this past year when I had the wherewithal to really feel the fullness and preciousness of the moment. Natan's bar mitzvah, the 150th gala celebration of our congregation, exquisite moments in nature shared with Rabbi Eric this summer, moments I thought to myself, if only I could just hold on to this forever. But of course, that's not possible for any of us. But what might it mean for us to move into the new year like Avraham, traveling with our days like small collectibles? Are there days from this past year that might be worth throwing in your carry-on bag? And not just the great moments. Maybe you are not quite ready to leave your grief behind, your longing, your sorrow. Gather it up and take it with you. Let it trail behind you in a rollerboard bag like a shadow. Maybe there were difficult days that taught you something important. Make room for them too. String them on a metaphorical charm bracelet, like the one I carefully curated in middle school. The key is to keep on living, putting one foot in front of the other while skillfully and sustainably carrying with us all the days that make us who we are. Alternatively, there may be days from this past year that you would rather set down and leave behind. Perhaps there are days that you do not wish to carry with you into the year ahead. They are simply too heavy. What might it mean to give yourself permission to acknowledge them, bless them even, and then set them down? Each year we travel with more and more days, more baggage. Is it possible to see this not as a burden to bear, but as a gift that we are increasingly strong enough to carry? Which are the days you wish to tuck into your bag and bring with you into 5786? And which are the days you wish to leave behind, lightening your load and making space for new days ahead? As we move through our davening over the course of Rosh Hashanah, I really invite you to consider these questions and to engage in the spiritual work of chazarah, review. You have my full permission to close the machzor, the prayer book, to close your eyes, and to time travel for this holy purpose. Time isn't slowing down for any of us, so why not use the 2 days ahead, at least in part, to wisely pack and repack your bags. May we go forward into the new year, ever aware of the preciousness of each day, each little collectible. Limnot Yamenu, Psalm 90 reminds us, teach us to count each day, not as a burden, but as a sacred responsibility so that we may obtain a wise heart. Kein hoda v'navi levav chochma. We turn time into wisdom when we use these days of awe to reflect, to learn, to bless, and to take with us all that we wish to hold on to while leaving the rest behind. Let's pack wisely and carry our days with us, like Avraham, together.